All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. It's playoffs time. That means it's time for the final Unstable Pick 6 as the games continue to dwindle as the teams knock each other off. We will take turns with our predictions, and we want you to hear yours, and we want to hear yours too. So let's go. All In Colts.
That's correct. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues, happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network. That's correct.
Yep.
It is the last pick 6, because
Yes.
after this, it becomes the pick 4, and so on.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We want you to be a part of this. Comment your picks before the first game Saturday, and if you get them all right, we'll shout you out on next week's pick 6. As always, though, before we make our pick 6 this week, let's take a look at last week's.
Yes. We both had the Steelers beating the Bengals, and we did not get that one. We were pretty excited about that. I mean, we wanted to see the Bengals try to get there.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
For sure.
They did everything they could.
Yeah. Next, the Bucks. We both had the Bucks beating the Saints. That happened. Mike Evans got his 1,000 yards. Congrats to him. 11 seasons. Maybe he will break the record next season.
I mean, there's not many Jerry Rice records that can be broken, let's be honest.
But this is very attainable as of right now.
Yep. And then we both had the Falcons over the Panthers.
Yeah,
that did not happen. It took it all the way to all the way into overtime. And what I found out is Panthers fans hold a grudge like a middle school girl on social media. Way back, there was something said about like the 10th, 20th, and now their 30th anniversary patch, right? It's the 30th anniversary of the Panthers young team. And so apparently the year after that patch is when they find success, or the year they wear it, something that they find success going to the Super Bowl in each of those years, I believe, after they wear the patch. And we simply said, hey, good luck with that. You probably need a quarterback that is a little bit taller than a freshman in high school in order for that to happen. Apparently, a lot of Panthers fans bookmarked that and came back to it. And now that Bryce Young had just a tad of success by taking the Falcons to overtime and winning, even though they got killed by the Bucs the week before, they really, really think Bryce Young is all of that in the bag of chips now.
Wow.
I as a Colts fan, I can't say too much. Because there will be, and all kinds of other things brought up. But come on. You can't say he's like the Super Bowl winner at this point. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
The next game was Broncos at Chiefs. We both chose the Broncos. Blowout, kind of expected. So, therefore, Bengals did not make it because of that.
Yes. Yeah. And the conspiracy theories continued to fly.
Yep.
And I'm not so sure why there's so much attention on that and the Chiefs throwing that game so the Bengals don't get in, when there is not more and more talk upon the calls that are made in the actual game when it actually mattered.
Yeah.
All right. Then we both had picked the Dolphins over the Jets. I regret that decision because the whole time I've been saying Miami does not play good in cold weather. And they didn't, because the Jets won that one.
They didn't.
And Tyreek Hill has not requested a trade.
Oh.
No. There was that reported. But apparently the organization smoothed everything out and said, no. So I guess everything's okay. I don't know.
Then finally, I chose the Vikings.
And I told you that Detroit would get it done.
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
Which leaves me with a record of 70-38.
And I am 72-36. I am 2 games up, headed into the playoffs.
Sure.
And let's be honest, that's not too bad. Like that's a pretty good clip here. We are definitely we're in the neighborhood of 67 to almost 70%, I believe, if we broke that down well. So, all right. It is now time for this week's games. It's playoff time, the biggest weekend in postseason football, combined with a few college football playoff games in there. Those semifinals are on Thursday and Friday. Then the 2 wild card games on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and 1 final one Monday night. We will pick them based upon the order that they happen, and we will trade back and forth to keep it even as we always do.
Yes.
But I gotta know, you know my feelings on this are strong. Do you have any strong feelings about this whole Monday night business in playoff time?
Nah. I mean,
as a player, it
would suck.
You have a short week. You have guaranteed short week, even if you play on the next Sunday, because the next 2 games are on, or the 4 games, they're 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. You're guaranteed a short week.
Yes. Okay. So
isn't that a disadvantage that you shouldn't have in the playoffs?
Isn't it a disadvantage whenever it's week 17, week 16, and you need to win to get into the playoffs and stuff, but you play Sunday and then you play Thursday night? Isn't that a disadvantage? But we don't talk about it then.
Yeah, but you did that to yourself.
It is your job to be able to deal with this type of stuff. So put on your big boy pants, deal with it, take an extra day to prepare rather than rest, and go out and win. If you can't do that, you don't. If you can't do that, you do not deserve to win the Super Bowl.
3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday solves the whole thing. We don't need a Monday night game.
Makes sense. Don't need it.
We don't need it. I know. And who plays Monday night? Vikings and Rams. So not only are the Vikings the highest seeded or highest record ever for a 5 seed, but now you've put them at a disadvantage. I don't like it. I think it is crummy. But we're going to start off with a couple games that don't matter at all. Didn't even make a graphic for them, but I just wanted to pick them so we could plug your other show, the Battle of the Bigs, and football time. Notre Dame versus Penn State. Who you got?
I think Penn State will win this one. I think it'll be really, really close. I hope it's close. I want to watch a close football game that's college football related. Only thing that was Arizona State and Texas.
And that was good.
It was a good game. I enjoyed watching that. I hope this is a close game. I'm going to say Penn State wins, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think Penn State had it, but I thought Notre Dame never had it in them the whole time against either one of their opponents. So they've surprised me along the way. I think it will be a good game, and that's what I agree. That's what we want to see.
Yep.
Texas, Ohio State, then.
As much as it inclines me, I'm like, okay, Texas won a close game. But it was the only close game of the playoffs. And it was to the 4 seed. Meanwhile, Ohio State whooped the 1 seed. So I think it's going to be a Big Ten championship.
I have to agree with you. I think this is what both Penn State and Ohio State would love. Mm-hmm. Ohio State thinks that they got gypped by not being able to be in the Big Ten championship, and Penn State wants another crack at it, and this is their opportunity.
It's true.
So goes to show what we've been saying the whole time. Big Ten is the best conference in basketball
And football.
and football.
Yes, indeed.
Take it, SEC. All right. Now, since you are trailing, I'll give you a chance to look at the games, figure out which games you would rather pick. Do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
You first.
All right. You were already ready.
I was.
All right. I am going with our first game is the Chargers at Houston. Houston, a home underdog. I'm calling this the toughest team versus the dirtiest team. Sorry. Did you mean you wanted me to pick first?
No. What you're doing right now.
All right. Got it. So I'm calling it the toughest team versus the dirtiest team. Harbaugh versus the team that pays players to take other players out.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's from my optics, that's the way I look at it. Smells an awful lot like Bountygate and the Saints.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I think I'm gonna go Chargers.
All
I
right.
think Houston isn't as good as they were, and I think Chargers have gotten so much better. Chargers have Dobbins now. They have their true running back. Herbert is somehow finding a way to do great things with this group of people. So, yeah, give me the Chargers here.
All right. Said it all year. Jim Harbaugh, as a Colts fan, love Jim Harbaugh. Even as a Niners fan, my other team, love Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has what it takes to get the most out of every position, builds his team the right way, coaches his team the right way, as opposed to Houston. And I'm going to say that also the Chargers picked up Ezekiel Elliott as a last-minute addition to try to get himself a championship. And so he knows – I think he knows something as well. So I'm going to say Chargers here as well.
All right. Next team, Steelers in Baltimore playing the Ravens. 5th time meeting in the playoffs, 1st time in Baltimore. The Steelers are 3-1, but the Ravens won the last meeting 10 years ago. Also, 3rd time playing this season.
Yep. There was that time 10 years or a little bit more so ago. Big Ben, Joe Flacco, they seem to meet 3 times a year, just about every other year or so. And this one, Steelers not looking hot, Ravens looking so good and so hot, can beat you in so many different ways. And Lamar is red hot, really driving up the MVP stock. And so I'm going to say Ravens win this one.
I think I would agree with you there. I think in reality, like, take a step back, you look at this game, you're like, okay, this could be like a hard game to pick because Pittsburgh isn't a bad team at all. But I had a conversation with a Steelers fan yesterday about, yes, you guys were 10-7, you got double digits. Yes, I'm a Colts fan, but I don't care if you've had winning seasons or not. This season was still mediocrity by the way you finished the season off.
Yeah.
If you would have finished it off going on a high note and making it there, then maybe different, but still mediocrity. I don't care how many winning seasons you have. Get a championship, then come talk to me. I'm going to go
like
Baltimore.
It. All right. Sounds good. Is it me next? Okay. Next game is the Broncos at the Bills. Bills have the better offense. The Broncos have the better defense. Defense wins championships.
It's true.
So, what do you think?
You're right. Defense does win championships, but the Bills have the MVP on their team.
But I just talked about Lamar.
They have the MVP 17 on their team. The person everyone fears to go against because he makes everything happen. He elevates everyone around him. James Cook is a great running back, but he wouldn't be as good as he is if there wasn't the passing threat of Josh Allen. Keon Coleman, great player. Josh Allen makes him that much better. Same with Mac Hollins and Khalil Shakir. I don't know who their tight end is. I believe it's Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox.
Yep.
Their Bills' offensive line isn't the greatest, but Josh Allen makes it work. And the defense isn't good by any means. I think maybe the worst defense in the playoffs, maybe. But you got to have an offense that can keep up with it, and the Bills can definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I really feel like this game is going to come back down. You talk about keys to the game. I think this game is going to come down to who the weaker side of the ball is going to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Bills' offense going to step up, or defense going to step up, or is the Broncos' offense going to step up? Which can step up better? And you know. Bill's coach, his name's escaping me right now, but he's a defensive coach, and so he's working against a rookie quarterback, which he is really statistically good against, and so I'm going to say Bills even more so because they're going to be up there in Orchard Park with the weather and the mafia and all that. So there you go.
Very true. Very true. Next game is it me picking? Yes, it's me. Next game, Packers in Philadelphia playing the Eagles. It's the rematch of the first ever Brazil game back in week 1. Eagles won that after Jordan Love left injured. And this is whenever we noticed Saquon Barkley is the real deal, even back in week 1.
Yep. All right. I think the Packers would be better served if they went with Malik Willis. Since he's not going to be in there, I think it's going to be the Eagles.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say here. Like, to me, I don't understand why everyone thinks the Packers are so great, honestly.
Makes sense. I think I'm gonna go Eagles here. I think this could be the one upset that does happen this week. Well, besides the Chargers in Houston, I don't count a 4 or 5 seed an upset necessarily.
Okay.
But I think this could be the one upset that does happen. But
No.
I believe the Eagles. I was talking about it with someone. I think if the Eagles win this one, they definitely go to the NFC Championship. I think if it's the Lions in if it's the Lions in the NFC Championship with them, the Eagles will win that game because I think the Eagles have more to do on offense against the Lions defense than I think where the Eagles strive on offense is where not the like downfall of the Lions defense, just the weaker side of the Lions defense, I think is just run defense, which is exactly what Philadelphia is great at. So, but that's ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna go Philadelphia.
Yeah. You went way ahead there.
All
right. This isn't a March Madness bracket. We're not filling it. We pick week to week, and so you may have armed me with some more information here. Okay. Now it's the Commandos versus the Buccaneers. This is another week 1 rematch won by the Bucs, but I mean, these are two drastically different teams. Bucs had Godwin back then. Jaden Daniels wasn't the Jaden Daniels we know now back then. So, what do you think?
I think it's the only way the Bucs win this one is if they start out hot, start out getting more points. Because if they're losing, they're not going to win. And 2, if it gets in a clutch, don't give Jaden Daniels the ball. And somehow the Tampa Bay is going to mess that up and give him the ball, and he's going to go win the game. I'm going to choose Washington here.
All right. All right. I agree with you that if you look at the score and it's a blowout, the Bucks won. If you look at the score and it's a one possession or like less than one possession, Jane Daniels did it, right?
Mhm.
It's in Tampa Bay. And so I have the Bucks winning this one. I think that the more experienced, well-rounded team here wins. I think that the Bucks are more disciplined on both offense and defense, and Commandos can be a little bit of a loose cannon sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
I'm going to say the Bucks win. That's our first differentiating one. There you go.
Yeah. Yes. Last game of the week is the Vikings in LA playing the Rams.
Yep. It's another rematch. Stafford was surgical against the tough Vikings defense first, and it's in the same exact location. 10-point win for the Rams back then. It's one of the games that I looked at and studied film on for the Colts against the Vikings. That defense, I've been saying it the whole time. That defense. But on the other side, you got Stafford with all the things that he can do. Threw 4 touchdowns and an interception. They lost the turnover battle, and it still didn't matter against this defense. And all the weapons that the Vikings have. But the Vikings are coming off a terrible loss to the Lions, and they are highly motivated to get back. They don't want to be one and done. And so I think the Vikings are going to get this one done.
I think I would agree here. I think I'm going to go Vikings. Regardless, you went Rams or Vikings. I was going to go Vikings. I think they are a great team inside and out. And you saw that if Justin Jefferson can't get stuff done, then the Vikings can't get stuff done. And I don't know if there is a corner on Los Angeles that can guard Justin Jefferson. So Vikings get a win.
All right. Well, that leads us now to this. We want you to be a part of this. Make sure you comment your picks before the first game Saturday. If you get them all right, we will shout you out in next week's Unstable Picks 4, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
But we've told you about this the whole week. We will be choosing a team that we will be doing our normal preview and recap for, like we've done for the Colts all season. So we've done this throughout our time doing this podcast. If by chance that team gets eliminated, that person will then choose a new team to follow and do a preview and recap for.
Yes.
So this is a team that you ideally think is going to make it deep. See, that way you don't have to, study a different
Switch.
team.
Yeah,
You do
exactly.
the same team, get into the groove. So
Yes.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Is that
Go
all
ahead.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's fine.
I this whole time have been thinking that there is a team. I think as of late, it's been a lot of 1 seeds and parity, right? Or not parity, right? And so I think that it's due time for a lower seed team that's been kind of playing playoff football into the playoffs to go and make a run. And as I look at the teams, I think there is no team that I feel more comfortable with going on the road and winning in hostile environments than Jim Harbaugh's LA Chargers. So I am going to do a breakdown of the Chargers. Plus, at least this first week, I get to go against Houston again.
Yep. My team that I am choosing, I've done a decent amount of studying on this year already because one of their players is on my fantasy team, or was, I should say. I got 3rd place, by the way. We don't have a fantasy episode this week. I got 3rd place. Right. You got 2nd place.
I did. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
Yeah, first week I scored 180 or 170 something points. Well, I can't put up the performance against you. Anyways, I have one of their players on my fantasy team. He will probably be the offensive player of the year if he isn't.
All
It's
right.
very stupid. Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
And the Eagles is who I'm going with. I talked about the Eagles earlier and how I believe they can make a deep run. I believe this may be their year, honestly. So I'll give you more insight on the Eagles and stuff like that in tomorrow's episode.
Yep, that's right. But that's it. That's all we have for today. But as you mentioned, we will be back tomorrow with that very special game preview as we will dive into keys to the game and the matchups to watch for the Eagles and for the Chargers.
Yes, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.